like I said, now I don't even try, and I literally lose on average 1 kilo a week, which I don't know what that is in pounds, but
2 pounds a week.
I'm not even trying. And I eat more food than anyone I know.
Hi honeys, it's Emmie. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Emmie. I'm a nutritionist and the creator of the Slim on Starch program, where my clients lose anywhere from the last few pounds to way more than that, gain food freedom, don't have to think about food anymore. It's just something that's on autopilot. So if you're interested in that, go to healthyemmie.org or just click the link in the down bar. Also, make sure that you hit subscribe and you turn on the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I'm uploading a new video, which is every Wednesday and Saturday. Today is part 2 of the interview with my client, Emma, from the Slim on Starch program. Go ahead and check out part 1 if you haven't already, where I talked to Emma about what her life looked like before we started working and what the beginning of her journey looked like. Emma is fabulous. She lost 18 pounds when we were working together, and that was just in our 8 weeks together, and she came to me in a healthy BMI, and she's continuing to lose weight. And what we talk about in this part of the interview is the mindset shifts that Emma was able to make with the help of our incredible psychological clinician Kiki, who is on the program that she would check in with every week, and how that has carried with her past the program. How she went from this place of extremes and black and white thinking to this balanced gray area. And also she talks about how she was using going out and drinking alcohol as a means of escaping. And we sort of talk about how that trickles into our relationship with food as well. And Kiki, our psychological clinician, is actually certified as an addictions counselor too. And so she is so familiar with the world of addictive behaviors and how whatever the substance is, our relationship with it is really what we need to focus on. And it doesn't matter if it's alcohol, if it's food, no matter what it is, it's about how we're using a substance to cope with what's going on inside of us. And Emma is so vulnerable during this part of the interview and is so inspirational to so many people who struggle with this themselves. And she shows you that there is another side. So we'll get into that. And we're also going to get into how Emma stopped focusing on weight during the program and how she really broke free from looking at the scale, and she continued to lose weight effortlessly, which is a really difficult thing to do. So this part of the interview is just gold, and you're going to enjoy every second of it. So no more me, let's get into Emma.
What happens, Emma, when you have that proper meal and the chocolate still sounds really good? What do you do?
So I had this still, and I think that the best strategy is to then swap it for something that's a better alternative and a healthy, better alternative. So I'll give you an example of what that looked like for me. So I believe I don't really struggle with that now, if I can be totally honest, because I like now it just like a chocolate biscuit. I mean, if someone's like offering it, of course I'll be polite, but before it was like, oh my God, I want the chocolate. What I would do, I'd actually cut a banana in half and I'd put like cocoa powder on it or something like that. So, I mean, I would just look for healthy alternatives that were still really good and made me feel like I was hitting that naughty sweet spot. But they were just better options. And it's okay. Like, we crave sweet food. It's not a big deal. Like, you don't have to totally deprive yourself of anything delicious in this world. But yeah, and even to that extent, I don't think I'm ever going to say no to a vegan donut. I don't think I'm ever going to say no to any of those foods. It's just, you really are what you do repeatedly. And if you constantly eat those foods, and I was eating them a lot more frequently than I am now, of course you're going to gain weight. Like, it's a fact. But if you're rarely eating it and you're going for these healthy options now, like maybe a banana with cocoa powder or the sweet potato with cocoa powder, delicious. Those types of options, they'll get you through. And it's honestly, it gets just so easy after a while. Like, you don't even think about those foods after a while.
Yeah. So, you just mentioned something, and I want to ask you about it, and then ask you what your mindset was like before. So let's say it's a vegan donut or it's something like this, and you said, yeah, of course I'll enjoy that. How do you enjoy that and not have it turn into a binge and have it spiral into, you're never eating healthy food again?
Yeah. And and I have to confess, like, it's taken time. That hasn't been an immediate epiphany. I think what I really have focused on is that your body isn't like a calculator that's like ticking every calorie, and if you eat a few calories over, game over. Like, it doesn't work like that. So I guess with that understanding, if I am going to have a chocolate donut or like a vegan chocolate donut or something like that, I just accept, okay, I'm having it, it's fine. But then I don't undereat the rest of the day. I eat exactly the same as I would normally. And maybe what I would do is maybe I'd slightly change the ratio of my plate, but I would never go hungry. That's just, don't go hungry. That's the big thing. And the main point I really want to drive home. The minute you go hungry, that's when bad decisions come. Yeah. So I try not to look at it in absolutes. Nothing is in absolutes anyway. If you can just ensure that you're eating enough, you're not going to binge. And one donut in the grand scheme of things is not going to do anything. It's when you do it consistently. So just eat the normal food. Eat the food you were eating before. It's delicious. Like, it's fine.
You nailed it. And that is such a healthy, balanced mindset that I think so many people strive for. And you're in the minority, truly, because so many people don't have this healthy mindset. Have you always had this? What did it look like before?
No. And that's why, to anyone that listens to this, I really get it. No, I wasn't always like this. In fact, for 10 years, I wasn't like this. It's taken a lot of soul searching and understanding of myself to reach a point of just realizing that you're not perfect, and it's never going to be that way, and it's fine that you're not. But yeah, the course was what turned it around for me, without a doubt. So, when you asked me before about could I do this on my own, your mindset's everything. If your mindset isn't in the game, forget it. It's not going to work. So if you can turn that around, like I have, like I said, now I don't even try, and I literally lose on average 1 kilo a week, which I don't know what that is in pounds, but
2 pounds a week. That's I'm not even trying. Like, what?
No, I'm not even trying. And I eat more food than anyone I know. Like, I literally eat so much food. Like, I wish I had my bowl with me. It's like this much. It's huge.
Well, let's talk more about that mindset, because you experienced a lot of wonderful mindset shifts with the help of our incredible psychological clinician, Kiki. So can you talk a little bit?
Kiki's amazing.
We love Kiki. We love Kiki.
Yes.
Talk more to me.
So another thing I wanted to add, so I really can't stress to you enough that I was not perfect before I started this. I also, working in corporate culture in Australia, and probably like the most corporate it gets in Australia, may I add, I was going out. I'd be drinking a few times a week as well. I'd get really stressed out, and my friends would be like, don't worry, we'll go out for a wine after work and have a gin and tonic and whatever it might be. And of course that turned into 4. It was never 1 for me. And as you can imagine, just adding to the calories, it definitely wasn't helping. But from a mindset point of view, and you're talking mentally, I was a different person. I can't even explain it. Like, I just relied on that type of stuff so much in order to get by. And I remember I was uploading it in my diary, and Kiki mentioned, she's like, okay, like it's good that you're getting your diet right, and you're really getting into a good rhythm here. But yeah, the alcohol, what's going on with that? And yeah, I think what she made me realize is that I was just trying to escape a lot of my problems with my eating and the drinking. And yeah, it actually, it's kind of tough to talk about, but it was a situation where having someone that was really telling me, like, the minute that you actually when you say no to someone else in this situation, you're actually saying yes to yourself, and you're putting yourself first. And I really just started looking at these situations a bit differently, where it wasn't an overnight switch. I definitely would still drink maybe once with friends, and then I'd replace it for soda water or something to that effect. And yeah, what I noticed is when I started changing that side of things, also that improved just general mindset and well-being. I mean, I wasn't waking up feeling groggy and horrible and hating life sometimes. But Kiki, I think what she made me realize, just the balance thing again. Like that mindset thing also, I'm echoing Kiki right now. Let's be real now. This isn't all me. Like just balance. Like how can I can't even put it any more simpler. It's balance. And if you continually think that you have to have an all or nothing mindset, that's what's going to get you into trouble. You've got to stick with balance, and you will get there. I promise you. I'm what did you say, 20 pounds? That sounds a lot better.
I know.
I'm nearly 20 pounds down. So
you're supposed to gain in kilos and you lose in pounds. Oh, I only gained in kilos, but I lost 20 pounds.
I wish. I wish it sounded that good.
But yeah, no, Kiki has so many incredible little nuggets because she's certified as an addictions counselor as well. And this is why she's so good at what she does inside the program, because so many of our behaviors around food are addictive, and our relationship with things like alcohol and other substances, it's the same thing with our relationship with food. And I'm sure having that connection with, as your relationship with alcohol and going out changed, it sort of changed your relationship with food as well. And she just has so many big nuggets, like the one that you just said, when you say no to whatever it is, you're saying yes to yourself. And that mindset is huge. And another mindset shift that you touched on, which is just probably the number one thing that people want to achieve, is that balance, because extremes are easy. Balance is really difficult. And to be able to, you are so relaxed. You have such a calm aura about you. And you're like, if somebody gives me a vegan donut, I'm going to eat that vegan donut, but I'm going to keep eating the rest of the day. And I'm not going to let myself go hungry. People would kill to say that, but they so quickly fall into that extreme. And you are such an inspiration to so many people that are dealing with that extreme right now. So that transition is really, really hard to make. What allowed you to start to make that transition from black and white thinking to allowing to live in the gray area? Because another thing that we talk about in the program is that gray is gray. Black and white, there's one shade of black and there's one shade of white. There's a billion shades of gray, and that's where you can grow. So how did you allow yourself to move into that gray area without experiencing some of the shame and the guilt and the ickiness of it?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I think that what I was doing, I was obviously like watching the modules that you were putting up every week and just reading. I'd be getting really inspired by the recipes that you have, and I'd start making those. And I think what I just tried to do was I stopped focusing on just the weight loss itself. And I know that's actually really easier said than done. And I really understand where people are coming from when they say that, because that was the reason why I did the course. I didn't just do it to be healthy. I mean, I wish I could say that was my true reasoning, but no, I'm vain. I did it to look better. But at the same time, I think I just really made it my focus just to get each day right and just get that balance right per day. And I didn't look so far into the future. I think that can be another problem where, and I know I did that a lot, was really trying to forecast a lot of my weight loss and where I saw myself. Like, it's good to have a goal, and I'm not saying don't have goals and don't achieve goals, but it shouldn't come to the detriment of your present life. And it should mean that any little like mistake, no, it's not even a mistake though. That's even that word. It's the wording as well. Like, be careful. And I even hiccup now. You're hearing it live. It's just, you're just living your life. It's fine. And yeah, I'm just saying that if you really immerse yourself in the course, you're going to, like, what you put in is what you'll get out of it. And I really just made it my focus to get it right, to listen to the content, to reach out if I ever had any questions. And yeah, you will get the results. As I keep saying, you just need to trust in the process and accept that if you do this consistently over a matter of weeks, what you do consistently. So if you're eating healthy consistently, that's the mindset. You do it consistently, you're going to get the results. Slight hiccups aren't going to derail you.
Yeah.
They're just not.
Yeah. Sometimes we need to Google Earth ourselves and really step back and look at the big picture and think about, is this one thing going to ruin everything? If I let it, then it will. But if I really step back and look big picture, it's a blip on the radar. And
totally.
And, you said something else that I want to talk a bit about, which is, you said, I did this because I wanted to look good. And when we think about that, if we ask ourselves, why do we want to look good? Because when I look in the mirror and I like what I see, that makes me happy. And when we really, dig through it, we all just want to be happy. Whatever goal we want, it's rooted in wanting to live a happy life. And so when you think about that, you think about my goal. If I really dig the layers of it, my goal is to be happy. So then when I think about those other parts, with going off plan, or as we say, working your signature system, because persona is actually part of your signature system. When you do that, you're getting yourself closer to the goal of overall happiness.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so that's something to keep in mind. And it's sort of those mindset shifts that we help you make and that you are proof of you can make and you can adopt yourself.
And it's so easy. It does get easy. Sorry, I've got a friend that's joined me.
Who is this?
Oh, this is my cat. She's just come and joined us.
Yeah, I know it's a cat, Emma. What's her name?
Her name is Nala.
Hi, Nala.
Yes.
She's so sweet.
Yes.
She can stay. I love her. She's a carnivore, though. Cats are carnivores, but she can stay. I like her.
And this is the thing, balance. You've got to kind of not look at things like, I can't tell your viewers enough. You'll get it. You will get it. Just be balanced, enjoy your life, and just do the program. It works.
I'm so happy that you said that about the word balance when Nala comes in, because there are people that will say, you're not a vegan if you have a cat, because cats are carnivores and you're feeding them meat and you're feeding into that system. And it's like we're all out here just doing the best that we can. And that applies to our diet too. We're just doing the best that we can, and we're looking big picture here. And I'm not going to write it off. Like, I'm not going to get a cat because it's not considered the best thing in the world when I'm doing all of these other things, right? Like, I'm the biggest cat in the world. My goal in life is to be a cat lady. So to break something off, just like people do with their diet, I had one bad thing, so may as well just write it off. We really do have to look at the future.
Part 3 is coming soon. I know that you guys are probably so excited for that because I can't wait to show you it. And so until then, I love you, honeys, and I'll see you in my next one. Woo!